Shalom. All praises to the Most High. All praises to His holy name. Coming to you once again by the grace of the Most High on this Shabbat. Today, the subject matter is the inheritance in Zion. So I'm going to let the Most High Scripture tell you about the inheritance in Zion. But I will say this. He said the first should be last and the last should be first among the tribes, the rulers. Then I'll continue to let the scriptures speak. Go to Doctrines and Covenants. Chapter 63. Now I will say this too. It seems some people feel that the Most High's word changes from video to video. His word don't change. He said, I change not, Jacob, therefore you are not consumed. See, because if he changes, he already know that the wicked is always trying to change his word to try to steal the inheritance. But they said, blessed be Jacob, the 12 tribes of Israel, Zion, that's chosen from among them. And the reason they can't steal your inheritance is because I change not. My word remains the same. And guess who has all power? Yeah. Short for Yahweh. I'm going to start at verse 22. It said, and now verily I say unto you, that I said that I would make known my will unto you. Behold, I will make it known unto you, not by way of commandment, for there are many who observe not to keep my commandments. See, he's trying to tell you the reason Jacob is not consumed is because, yeah, he wants you to keep his commandments. That's his will. But there's others who say we can get around his commandments and we can do what we want to do. So he says, and now verily I say unto you, because that's what the world think they can do today. Oh, we can just get around his word. We can do what we want to do. Yeah, some Edomites tell you, we're, in so many words, we're greater than the God of nature because we can make our own water now. Because all they're going to do is try to stop you from getting water and stuff like that from nature. Well, we don't need that. We can do what we want to do. We're greater than him. So you fool. There's going to come a time when he'll say, you fool, your soul is required of you because I control everybody's air. And you can't buy that. That comes from nature, the God of nature. So the fool is said in his heart, there is no God. Then verse 22, chapter 63, verse 22 says, and now verily I say unto you, that as I said that I would make known my will unto you, behold, I will make it known unto you, not by way of commandments, for there are many who observe not to keep my commandments. Not. 2 Corinthians 8:8. I speak not by commandment, but by occasion of the forwardness of others, and to prove the sincerity of your love. Is you down with it? Talking about inheritance, right? In Israel. He said he's going to prove your sincerity of his love. Proverbs 8:17-21. I love them that love me. What does that imply? Don't imply nothing. He said it. He loves those who love him. And those that seek me early shall find me. Riches and honor are with me. So if you're honorable and you find yourself rich, that's because you love him. And he got, and all that stuff is with him. Satan can't touch it. He said, when I make rich, I add no Satan to it. And Satan can't touch it. Why? Riches and honor are with me. Yeah, durable riches and righteousness. My fruit is better than gold, than fine gold, and my revenue than choice silver. Why? Because his supply don't never run out. I'll lead in the way of righteousness. I was telling you, like yesterday, my son asked me, he said, he had the right to ask that. He probably didn't know. He said, how much do they owe you? The Roman Catholic Pope, proud attorney, said, just off of one of the names that they try to steal and create it from your true giving, your de jure giving name, holds durable rich behind it. Because they hid treasures under dead things. The Most High said, life or death, all things are mine. Because the Most High brought life out of those dead things that belong to me by right. So they're no more cursed to me. So those dead things was resurrected and given back to me. So that means, as she also said, trillions of dollars belong to me. Other words, I ain't gonna never run out of wealth. And then you black people that you want to be called black, she says, you really been duped. Because you never needed the European, meaning being its subject or its citizen. She said, everybody been duped. But you black people really been duped. Why? You the children of Israel. You just don't want to recognize it. So we ain't gonna recognize it. But if you come back home to the God of nature as yourself, being an American Israelite, because that's who you are on this land in America, and confess with your mouth and believe with your heart, then you have the key to open the treasure box. And the Most High says, riches and honor is with me. Yeah, durable riches and righteousness. My fruit is better than gold, than fine gold. My revenue than choice silver. I lead in the way of righteousness in the midst of the paths of judgment. Another place he said, I pray for those who you've given me, Father, the elect. And no one can take them out of your hand. Also saying, riches and honor are with me, yeah, durable riches and righteous, and no one can take them out of your hand. That I may cause those that love me to inherit substance, and I will fill their treasures. Let's look up substance and treasure. See, this got to be coming from the Spirit because I didn't prepare this part. See, I just write down scriptures that lead to what he got to say, but then he actually speaks through the Spirit. And this word is spirit. It's life. That's why they call it the living word. In the right hands, it start talking. It's not just words on the paper. Substance is a noun. Century 1300, essential nature, real or essential part. From Old French substance, substance, goods, possessions, nature, composition. From Latin substantia, being seen, material. I thought you're not supposed to want material things. He said, all this stuff is with me. All you got to do is love me. Because if I give it to you, can't nobody take it. And I dare them to take something from me. That's why my Christ said, can't nobody take nothing out of my Father's hand. From sustenance, present particle of substare, stand firm, stand or be present. That's why I said stand on the truth, and the devil must flee from you, because he will. To stand, make or be firm. That which is one's own. So you mean to tell me I've been telling you what's right all the time when I say I just want what is mine by right? Latin substantia translates Greek asia, that which is one's own, one's substance or property. The being, as seen, or nature of anything, meaning any kind of corporeal matter, is first attested mid-14th century. See, he don't mind you having material things as long as it's yours, because you ain't stealing it. You ain't doing nothing strange to get a piece of change. All he said, all you got to do is love him. He said he loves those who love him, and if you love him, he gonna make sure you get what is yours by right, and he dares somebody to touch it, because can't nobody take it out of his hand. Since of the matter of a study, discourse, etc., first recorded in late 14th century. Look up treasure. Let me put it to you this way. I'm not a mobster. I'm not a gangster. Meaning, I don't belong to no organized crime. But let me ask you this. You know somebody they call the Godfather in the world that everybody fears? Magnify that times, I don't know how many times, Most High is way more greater and way more dangerous than that. So just imagine if the Godfather in this world gave something to one of his sons and you took it. You get the picture. Treasure the now mid-12th century, trésor, or Old French trésor, treasury, hoard, treasure. That movie I was talking about the other day was called Nicolas Cage. It was a movie with Nicolas Cage was in called, what's it called, Treasure Hunt or something like that. He made about like 2 of them. But you need the keys to get to the treasure. And then after a while, it seemed like it was just a myth because nobody can find it. But then finally, they found the treasure that everybody thought was a myth because they had the keys. And it was a great treasure. Treasure now, mid-12th century, trésor from Old French trésor, treasury, hoard, treasure. 11th century, modern French trésor from Gallo-Roman treasurers. From Latin thesaurus, treasury, treasure. Source also Spanish, Italian tesoro. From Greek thesaurus, store, treasure, treasure house. Related to tithania, to put, to place. From reduplicated, from pi root dei, to set, put. In Middle English, the thesor, etc. Modern spelling is from 16th century, replaced Old English gold hoard. General sense of anything valued. See, a portion tells us they came over here, the European came over to our land, America, in 1492 and stole anything they found of value. Where the Most High said, that's mine. Because you took it from my land and from my people, my inheritance. See, he said, Israel is his inheritance. Stuff don't mean nothing to him. But when you take from his inheritance, you take it from his people. And the stuff belongs to the people. Belongs to me. Therefore, you're going to come back singing Boys to Men on bended knee. Giving all the stuff back to me. That's why I said all these things are with him. See, I got God's money that I can rely on. I don't have to worry about what they keep reporting about in their jurisdiction. They don't reply to me. They don't reply to me. Treasure, the action verb of treasure is late 14th century. To amass treasure, to store up for the future. See, it's already stored up for me. You thought I was lying to you. I don't lie to you. I don't have to. The Most High word don't lie. And I share his word with you, containing to his things, which is my things. He said all things are mine. All I got to do is love him, and I do. I show you I love him, and I show him I love him. Also figurative, regard as precious. He already said I'm precious. Retain carefully in the mind from treasure. The treasury. That's why they mentioned the treasury once you, as they say, come back home. The treasury has already been prepared to store up wealth for me. Because they know who I am and I know who I am. Therefore, I got the key to open the treasure box at will. And they must give it to me because it's mine. By right. I got the birthright. And it can't be taken from me. Treasuries are now century And I'm down with the king. Therefore, I can speak for my children and grandchildren. And I was telling them, keep the commandments. Because all things is there too, if they believe. But like I was saying, when Noah built the ark of safety, what was the benefit of his family once everybody was secured on the ark? Life, and life more abundantly. But it didn't say Noah and his family built the ark. It said Noah built the ark. And they received the benefits with Noah. As long as they kept the commandments of God. Yahweh, the God of nature. Treasuries are now, century 1300, room for treasure. From Old French trésor, treasury. 11th century, from trésor, see treasure, we already did, meaning Department of State that controls public revenue. Is recorded from late 14th century. See, the Most High controls all these things. And he said, if you love me, all these things is in my hand. And you already see, I prove I love him because I walk it and talk. I walk the talk and talk the walk. And he knows I love him. Therefore, you can't stop me from receiving nothing that's mine. And I ain't giving nothing to you. Because if I gave it to you, then I would be an unfaithful servant to the Most High, and he wouldn't be happy with me. So I'm not going to let you take nothing from me, because you can't take nothing from him. And he said, touch not my anointed, and do my prophet no harm unless I touch you. And you don't want that. That's like going and taking something from the Godfather. Children. And threatening them, talking about you're going to do something to them. Well, go ahead and try it. Hoard is a noun. Old English hoard, a treasure, valuable stock or store, an accumulation of something for preservation or future use. Hence, any mass of things preserved by being deposited together. Well, the Most High said, I can have mine now. Why? Because I've already opened the key, opened the door with the key. And my supply ain't gonna never run out. You know what that means, though, when I say all right? You gotta confess with your mouth and believe with your heart that you can be saved. If you Zion. And Zion, being Zion ain't nothing you can fake. It's something that you are. Lamentations 4:21-22. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwelleth in the land of Uz. And because we know where Edom is going to be in the New Jerusalem, I'm going to say it this way, because I can by knowledge. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwelleth in the land of the United States Corporation. That's where you dwell. That's your power. Because you're not an American. stop me when I'm lying. You're not Aboriginal indigenous. That might sound harsh, but that's the truth. That's why you're the United States citizen. That's the only way you can be here. That's why she said, black people, you've been duped. You never needed to be a United States citizen because you are an American by birthright. And your power and your authority and your birthright, your nationality, and your sovereignty comes from the God of nature, Yahweh, with all natural and inalienable rights that you can't give away. Nobody can take it from you. You just have to confess it away by being ignorant, claiming to be something you're not. That's why the Father said, my people who are called by my name will humble themselves, study to show themselves approved, come back to me, love me. He said, then I'll hear from heaven. I will forgive your sins and heal your land. See, I'm not here to lie to nobody. You might not like the way I say things, but I'm not here to give a lesson in ass kissing. I'm just here to tell you the truth. And even the European has provided the truth. So you know I'm not lying to you. The truth that agrees with the truth, the Most High's word, the law of the land. So once the truth is out, you can't go back and start telling lies to discredit the truth. The truth establishes the truth. So anytime you do something against the truth, now you found guilty. That's why they already said they acknowledge and they note that they've treated the quote unquote Negro, quote unquote African American, like a chattel for over 150 years ago, which was crime against man. See, my son said don't talk about it, but he's my son. So yesterday they gave me the information. They gave me a notice, a document stating that they gave me my uncle's estate. But I already told you that from what they were talking about as far as his house that was valued at so much, and it was a lot. I'm just putting things on the record, so if they ever lie, they can't lie. It's on the record. And then they tried to put it from a standpoint came from San Francisco. You know, they already told you that they were trying to make people in San Francisco give you $5 million. The only thing you got to be claimed to be an African American or black, etc. I very objected to all those things. And then they try to lowball me and give me a number half of what they said my uncle's property was worth. But then really they was trying to lowball me if through ignorance, they might try to give away his estate, that all the names they created after him was under that, and try to give that to me for that. And I object to that. I said, okay, what I'm going to do is, since the truth is out, I'm going to sign it. But I signed it Anthony Madrus Pooler Sr., but I signed it as being, I put American Israelite. all rights reserved. Good faith expected. Now it's back on their hands. Are they gonna lie? If they do, that's crime against man. An Israelite, American man. Because they already know I already gave a statement before that I object to all bad faith actions. And I already know that what's behind each one of those names that you created for the franchise, that you created for that estate. So since I knew those things and you tried to cheat me, I put on there, I know who I am. Now you go ahead and cheat me then. Because if you do, they already noted that you know better. So the ball is now in your corner. You do what you gotta do. I hope it's the right thing for your sake. Because you already noted, acknowledge that you committed crimes against man. Bad faith actions, and you noted that there was criminal activity for 150 years ago, so you keep on doing criminal activity, and it's on the record. Go ahead. Now, I expect you to give me what's mine by right. Why? Because the treasury already know better. And because I identify myself correctly, you know you can't. And you can't cheat my family. And that was just my uncle's estate. That don't count my estate and their estates. Most High has already made provision. Because I love him. And the treasury knows I love him, so they gave me the keys to the treasury. Stop me when I'm lying. See, I don't walk by fear. What do I got to fear? The Most High already said you got me covered. And he said, touch me if you want to. He said, touch me against your own best interest. Touch not my anointed and do my prophet no harm. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom. The dwelling in the land of Uz. The cup shall pass through unto you. You shall be drunken and shall make yourself naked. The punishment of your iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry you away into captivity. As of 2019, that captivity was over. Proven by that Roman Catholic Pope who took Vicar of Christ off his title. He had to do it. Nobody else can do it. He had to do it. Which was proven that dumb diversity was over. Captivity. So you don't have the right to be trying to test me. My captivity is over. I've been claimed to be sovereign by the only Nazim. Stop me when I'm lying. What about when that Godfather makes a man in the world? Can you unmake him? So what about if the Almighty God makes a man? And he did. Can you unmake me? Touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm. The punishment of your iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry you away into captivity. That's over. So why are you trying to still hold me in captivity? Touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm. He will visit your iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover your sins. That's why I had to tell you what I just told you a minute ago, so your sins can be discovered. So you ain't got nothing, you can't hide under nothing. So all your wrongdoing is exposed, so you keep doing wrong then. The punishment of your iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry you away into captivity. He will visit your iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover your sins. He didn't say nothing about my sins. He said your sins. I'm not you, and you not me. And you can't ride on my back because I ain't going to be one of the prophets talking about I got your back. I don't. How am I have your back if God ain't got it? And you don't love him. So how you going to claim anything? Because everything is in his hand. He just told you earlier. He said he hates you. And you hate him. That's why you got to give up everything you got back to him. And he gave it back to me. That's the truth. Trove is a noun. 1888 from treasure trove, 1550s. From Anglo-French trésor, trove, late 12th century. Translating Latin, the sources inventus, literally, treasure found. Originally, any precious metal object one finds hidden whose owner is unknown. Well, you know who it is now, it's mine. And they got it on the record under Anthony Madrus Pooler, Sr., also known Nikas Joseph. So they left it unknown until the man with the key came. So you know who it is now. And they know who I am. But like I told you, if you Zion, they know who you are, and you should know who you are. But you got to confess with your mouth and believe with your heart. But I know who I am. That's why I put my name right. Because they already got it written there. As this usually meant ancient hoards, the term came to mean treasure hoard. In popular use, rendered treasure found. From mid-15th century, trove is past particle of trover, to find. Matthew 7:7-12. Ask, and it shall be given you. Give it to me, it's mine. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. Open it up and give it to me. Right now, I want all of it. I'm not, and I can get it when I want. But right now, man, I just want my truck right now. You know, money to go do this and do that when I want to in my lease without you bothering. Just get a nice little house to dwell in because you're gonna build Zion around my family without you bothering, so we can interact and love one another like I'm supposed to. But that's not subject to you. It's up to me whenever I want it. But right now, that's what I want right now. Gonna give me a little Ford Edge. Is that asking too much? No, because it's mine anyway. Ask, and it shall be given you. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. So he says, shall. And it ain't got nothing to do with you. The treasury is already open for me anytime I want it. Why? It's mine. So why you keep being in my way? Get out of my way and give me what is mine by right. Immediately. Because I'm talking with great authority. Meaning the Most High, because it's in his hand, and the treasury who has it. That's great authority. And they know it's mine. So they got to give it to me because I've done everything he told me to do. Ask, and it should be given to you. Seek. This includes what I promised my children. And they already got their own. And my grandchildren, they already got all of their estate in the franchises for themselves. But because I love them, I told them I would give some of the what I promised to give from what's mine. And you can't touch them. Because they came on the ark with me. And the Most High had me to build it. Therefore, they were sheltered from the flood. For everyone that asks, receive it. And he that seeketh, find it. And to him that knocketh, it shall be opened. Or what man is there of you whom if his son asks bread, will give him a stone? Or if he asks of a fish, will give him a serpent? That's why the Most High said, if I make it rich, I add no serpents to it. No Satans. If you then, being evil, know how to give good gifts unto your children, how much more shall your Father which is in heaven, the true God Father, give good things to them that ask him, that love him? You don't say that, but he just said it earlier. I love those who love me. Trove is a noun. And the Roman Catholic Pope said the treasury has $1 trillion of good faith money, God's money, we use the term money, stored for future use for Zion. Stop me when I'm lying. So I got $1 trillion. Stop me when I'm lying. And apparently it's right now because I got the keys and I've expressed it and I've shown to you the truth. How can I know those things unless it's open? You can't know anything before it's time. So why do I know it then? Because it's mine. Once again, don't get offended if you Zion. Confess with your mouth and believe with your heart that you can be saved. I can't do that for you. But I can show you the way. Trove now, 1888 from Treasure Trove, century 1550. From Anglo-French Trésor Trove, late 12th century. Translating Latin Thesaurus Eventus, literally treasure found. Originally, any precious metal object one finds hidden whose owner is Anthony Matthews Pooler Sr., also known as Niggas Yourself, because it said unknown, but now you know. Who are you if you know? You got to confess with your mouth, believe with your heart, that you can know and be saved. If you're Zion. At this usually meant ancient hoards. The term came to mean treasure hoard in popular use, rendered treasure found. From mid-15th century French, trove is past particle of trover, to find. From Old French trover of unknown origin, perhaps from Latin tabor, to move, hence to seek for. Seek and you shall find. That's scripture. Knock and it shall be opened. Or medieval Latin, that's the key to open this treasure. And I found it, and I knocked, and it can't be denied me. Or medieval Latin, tropere, to compose, sing. I'm singing a new song. Based on genealogy and temple work. That's where they get the word thesaurus from. Treasure, storehouse. This is knowledge. See, my people were destroyed from receiving the keys for lack of knowledge, but now you got it. Just not. Seek and you shall find, because you got the key. Now you can just open the door. Sources now, and I didn't make it out, man. This wasn't even nothing part of what I was supposed to be doing right now, as far as I thought. Like usual. I ain't even got to the message yet. Well, I guess this is the message. The SARS now, 1823, the treasury, storehouse, from Latin thesaurus, treasury, a hoard, a treasure, something laid up, figuratively, repository, collection. From Greek thesauros, a treasure, treasury, storehouse, chest. Related to tithnia, to put to place. According to Watkins, it is from a reduplicated form of pi root, DHE, to set, put, but Beeks offers no etymology, but probably a technical loan word without a doubt from pre-Greek. The meaning encyclopedia filled with information. It's from 1840, but existed earlier at Thesauri, 1590s, used as a title by early dictionary compilers on the notion of thesaurus verborum, a treasury of words, meaning collection of words arranged according to the sense, is first attested 1852, and Rogic's title thesaurus is attested in Middle English for treasurer. And thesaurus treasure was in use of 1560s. Jeremiah 4:22, for my people is foolish, not known me. They are sottish children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge. He said you got to have knowledge to do good faith work. Jeremiah 5:21, hear now this, O foolish people, and without understanding, which have eyes and see not, which have ears and hear not. Proverbs 1:22, how long, you simple ones, will you love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. You saying right now, this is, you call me a fool, but he called you a fool. I'm far from being a fool, but by his grace. Isaiah 40:17, all nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing and vanity. Ecclesiasticus, this is the Apocrypha, 19:19. The knowledge of the commandments of Yahweh is the doctrine of life. That's the law of the land. And they that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality. Ones that love him. Ecclesiasticus 11:15, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the law of the land. Says the law, but we know this is the law of the land. His word. Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the law are of Yahweh. Love and the way of good works are from him. Proverbs 8:17-21. I love them that love me, and those that seek me early shall find me. Riches and honor are with me, yeah, durable riches and righteousness. Look at the term durable. Durable is a scripture word, it's adjective, late 14th century, having the quality of a continuing long in being. Most High said forever. Daniel 7:27, and the kingdom and the dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints, Zion. To me. I'm just making my call in an election sure that I've already been elected. That's why I say stuff like I and me and stuff. That's not a selfish I and me. It's just I can only speak for me. You gotta confess with your mouth and believe with your heart. I've already been elected. I've already been sealed. What's the proof? I got the keys. And you can't deny it. Stop me when I'm lying. Daniel 7:27, and the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominion shall serve and obey him. Psalm 145:13. Your kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and your dominion endured throughout all generations. Daniel 7:14. And there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. Daniel 4:3. How great are his signs, how mighty are his wonders. His kingdom is an everlasting kingdom. His dominion is from generation to generation. Psalm 145:13-21. Your kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and your dominion endured through all generations. Yahweh upholdeth all that fall, and raises up all those to be bowed down. Talking about his people, Zion. So he said Zion's captivity is over. He said, if I be lifted up, and he was, I'll draw all men unto me to be lifted up. Zion, your captivity is over. You should not go back into captivity. I'm going somewhere totally different than I thought. Isaiah 54. Sing, O barren, you that did not bear. Break forth into singing and cry aloud. That you that did not travail with child. For more are the children of the desolate, Satan, the wicked, than the children of the married wife, says the law. Come on, Zion. Zion is a remnant. Enlarge the place of your tent and let them stretch forth curtains of your habitation. He's talking to Zion. Spare not, lengthen your cords and strengthen your stakes. For you shall break forth on the right hand and on the left, and your seed shall inherit the Gentiles, and make the desolate cities to be inhabited. They're going to build it. Fear not, for you shall not be ashamed, neither be you confounded, for you shall not be put to shame. For you shall forget the shame of your youth, of your foolishness. But now you got knowledge. At least I got it. For you shall forget the shame of your youth, and shall not remember the reproach of your widowhood anymore. For your maker is your husband. The law of hosts is his name. The Redeemer of the Holy One of Israel, the God of the whole earth shall he be called. For the law has called you as a woman forsaken and grieved in spirit, and a wife of youth when you was refused, says your God. For a small moment I have forsaken you. For a small moment I have forsaken you, but with great mercies will I gather you. In a little wrath I hid my face from you for a moment. But with everlasting kindness will I have mercy on you, says the law, your Redeemer. For this is as the waters are known unto me. For as I have sworn that the waters of Noah should no more go over there, so have I sworn that I would not be wroth with you nor rebuke you anymore. That's why I said Zion's captivity is over. He's not rebuking me. You trying to do that. You in danger. Touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm. For the mountains shall depart and the hills be removed. He said, I go as far as I'll tear the world up before I let them bother me. Before I let them bother me. That's why he put up saviors that come on Mount Zion to judge the wicked in Mount Seir. Obadiah 121. He kept his word. For the mountains shall depart and start confessing by necessity of Mount Seir. For the mountains shall depart and the hills be removed. But my kindness shall not depart from you, me. Neither shall the covenant of my peace be removed, says the law, that has mercy on you, me. Oh, you afflicted, tossed with tempest, Jacob's trouble. That's over. And not comforted. Behold, I lay your stone with fair colors, and lay your foundation with sapphires. I will make your windows of a gates. Let's see what a gates mean. if it gives us the proper definition, but I want to see what it says. Agate is a noun, variety of banded colored quartz. 1560s from French agate, from Latin chatas, from Greek akates, the name of a river in Sicily, where the stones were found. Pliny, but the river could easily be named for the stone. Early in English of achate, early 13th century, directly from Latin, the Elizabethan sense of a diminutive person is from the small figurative cut of agates for seals, etc. The notion of the smallness is preserved in typographer agate, the U.S. name of all the 5.5 point font called in Great Britain ruby. Rubies, so he's saying rubies. Meaning toy marble made of glass resembling agate, called an agate, related agatine. Achates, name of the armor bearer and faithful friend of Aeneas. In the Aeneid, the phrase Fidus Achates was proverbial for faithful friend, loyal and devoted companion, those who love him, right? He said the prophets are his friends. That's Zion. That's who makes up Zion, the prophets. And I will make your windows of agates, rubies, and your gates of carbuncle. See what carbuncle means. Carbuncle. Carbuncle is a noun, early 13th century, fiery jewel, gem of a deep red color, ruby. Also the name of a semi-mythical gem from the East Indies, formerly believed to be capable of shining in the dark. Old North French carbuncle, carbuncle stone, also carbuncle, boil from carbunculus, red gem, also red inflamed spot, literally a little coal. From carbo, genitive, carbonus, coal, see carbon. Originally of rubies, garments, and other red jewels. In English, the word was used of red, eruptive. Went to One World Tertullian. Page 31. It says, now in the eyes of the hijacked Hebrew Templars, aka the Holy Roman Empire, the Habsburg dynasty, the Holy Land was in possession of infidels, aka Israelite MUURs. Therefore, and I'm changing things based on knowledge. Therefore, they were authorized via the Dum Diverses of 1452 to take Israel, Jerusalem, the Americas, Granada, away from the MUURs, whom were Saracens. That's what they said. Also read the Dum Diverses, which authorized the Templar Knights of Christ to conquer Saracens and pagans. See, they can only conquer what they term. Mosiah said, I'm an American Israelite. So that's not under their jurisdiction. Take the possessions and subject them to perpetual servitude, slavery. This papal bull, and none of them were ever rescinded until now. And I'm saying that by knowledge. Which was the current problem that the MUURs in America faced. By knowledge. As Saracens, whom are the red ones, aka the lost tribe of Israel. It says the papal bull was issued against the MUUR as Saracens in order to take our Israelite or American Jerusalem away from us, which was Granada. We said the red ones. Carbuncle. So red gem, also red inflamed spot, literally a little coal. Coal, see carbon. Originally of rubies, garnets, and other red jewels. In English, the word was used of red. Eruptive subcutaneous inflammations and tumors from late 14th century. That ain't what I'm talking about. Rebuke that statement. Carbon is a now non-metallic element occurring naturally as a diamond, graphite, or charcoal. And Lavoisier as carbon, from Latin carbonium, nominative carbo, a coal, glowing coal, charcoal, heat, fire. Carbon-14, the long-lived radioactive isotope used in dating organic deposits. From 1936, carbon dating using carbon-14 is recorded. From 1958, carbon cycle is attested. From 1912, carbon footprint was in use by 2001. Carbon paper faced with carbon, used between two sheets for reproduction of the lore of what is drawn or written on the upper. It's from 1855. Earlier, it was carbonic paper, 1850. All right, let's keep on going. And all your borders of pleasant stones. Listen to the term pleasant. Pleasant is an adjective. Late 14th century, plaisant, early 14th century as a surname, pleasing or acceptable to God. Also agreeable, desirable, delightful, delicious. I'm feeling pretty delicious right now. Satisfying to the mind or senses of persons, charming, gracious. Old French, plaisant, pleasant, pleasing, agreeable. 12th century, present particle of pleasure, to please. Give pleasure, to satisfy. From Latin plaisir, to be acceptable, be liked, be approved. See please. Pleasantry has the word's modern French sense of funny, jocular, witty. I believe I have those characteristics. Some people might even call me a smart ass. Related pleasantly, pleasantness, pleasing or agreeable character or quality is attested from 1520s. Let's see pleasantry. Let's see, please first, then pleasant. Please is the action word, is a verb. Century 1300, pleasant, to please or satisfy a deity. See, that's why they're going to have to please me. Because I'm a God. He's already said I am. A God ain't got to please you. You got to please a God. That's why I said this is the New Jerusalem. Well, I'm gonna rule over my oppressor. Stop me when I'm lying. That's what he said. Century 1300, pleasant, to please or satisfy a deity. Propitiate, appease. From Old French plaisir, to please, give pleasure to. Satisfy. 11th century modern French player, Plaire, just in case I'm not trying to be a player, meaning of many women. The form of which is perhaps due to analogy of faire, Faire, from Latin plaisir, to be acceptable, be liked, be approved. Study to show yourself approved. That you might be able to confess with your mouth and believe with your heart, if you're Zion. Related to placare, to soothe, quiet. Source of Spanish placer, Italian plaisir, from pi, Plehk, to agree, be pleasant, with cognates to Takarian, plaque, to agree, placky, permission. By mid-14th century, as satisfy a person, be agreeable to, be satisfactory or acceptable, to be satisfied, meaning to delight, attract someone. Let's see what the Book of Remembrance of Enoch said that they supposed to do for us, for me, in Zion. Seth chapter 5, verse 69 through 73. And looking towards Yasakad, that was Adam, our forefather, the first indigenous man, first quote unquote Negro that was ever created. He said, and you shall now change in your dominion over the earth. And the righteous seed of Adam is called many men, they call Michael, the prophets. Michael being the first, or Adam being the first Michael. We're his seed in the earth. That's why Michael can stand up for his people, the prophets, or Michael. And there's only one of them that's on the earth at one time that has that authority. But he's the general who leads the others that's with him, helping. That's in the Bible. That's in the scripture. And looking towards Yasakad, he said, and you shall now change in your dominion over the earth. For now it is your task to dress and keep all of the hosts of the living souls here. And your world is named Eden. Now I got to go back to here. He said, in the righteous, in the eternal name of America is Eden. This is where the righteous dwell, the immortal. Before it was changed. Seal portion 81 and 41. But in the beginning it was not so. Now I've shown unto you that the record of my fathers shall come forth unto Joseph, and he shall translate the part which is unsealed and publish it to the world, so that all might know of the works of the Father, which was wrought upon the land of Eden, which is this promised land, which shall be called in the latter days the United States of America. We're talking about the duty of dominion and the new form of dominion once we come back home to Eden, America. That's why the Roman Catholic Post-Proud Attorney said this. By necessity, when the Most High started tearing down the mountain of Esau. The end of 400 years of European meddling and predation in America. Of course, I'm just going to read the part that I always read, but it says the Constitution for the United States of America was saved and a new foundation begun. The duty of dominion, the new form of dominion. That's the new foundation that begun. The American Israelites are now free to come home to the land that they were removed from. No longer POWs, prisoners of war, because Dumb Diverses is over. This is the something else that they said Dumb Diverses is existing until something else is given. And that Roman Catholic Pope named Francis gave this by necessity. The American Israelites are now free. The American Israelites are now free to come home to the land that they were moved from, no longer POWs. They have regained their sovereignty as free, sovereign, and independent people living on the land of Eden. It's called America. America is not the United States. The United States is the corporation that serves Americans and entraps the ignorant as slaves. The United States of America and the free, sovereign, independent people living on the land of the organic states have regained their sovereignty in the international jurisdiction of the sea. He said that angel was standing 1 foot on the land and 1 foot on the sea. Sovereign. For the first time since 1789, Americans are in full control of their of both their natural land and sea jurisdictions. We are finally whole. Then it goes on to say the warning that came from that Roman Catholic Pope to his people in his jurisdiction. Do not follow any orders to harm Americans. Those who do will be tried for war crimes. So that's why I try to tell you. I put it back in their jurisdiction as far as go ahead and do what you're going to do then. Because you know you ain't supposed to do it. I put it back on them. Because I'm sovereign. They just told you. And you're not supposed to do it. Whoever gave you the orders to try to cheat me, that's harming me. But I'll let you know who I am when I, quote unquote, signed it. Well, you know you're doing this to an American Israelite, right? And I expect good faith actions. So you know you got to give me everything that is included, despite of what you wrote, because you know that's fraud, right? But go ahead and do it then. But the powers that's watching everything made that Roman Catholic Pope say that. Do not follow any orders to harm Americans. Those who do will be tried for war crimes and face the death penalty, just like that of the Nazis at Nuremberg. Told you it wasn't my intent to come here today, but this is where I'm at. I just got to follow the spirit where he goes. And all this is on the record that they even know about in the Library of Congress. So if you do this, you define the most highest Godfather, the God of nature, Yahweh, and you even define the Godfather of the world. It's bad enough just to define the Godfather of the world, but now you define the God of nature, who controls the Godfather of the world, who made the Godfather of the world tell you not to bother him. So go ahead with your bastard. $673, speaking about probate, and that's what that letter was all about, probate. The fact that Roman Catholic Pope had this put out there like this, if you do this deceptively, you still bothering me. You can't bring me into your deceptions after all this has been noticed. This is on the record. So every bad faith action is going to be charged against you, not me. That's why I wasn't ashamed to sign it. Because if you follow through with trying to give me less than what is mine, then you're going to have to pay the piper. But you still have to pay me everything that's mine. It says 2 different populations. Folks, there are and have always been 2 different populations here in America. Actual current federal employees. Retirees don't count as active federal employees. And I've already received my retirement. You can't take that from me either. And you can't try to disguise it under something else and then switch me over to something that's still accepting orders to try to harm me. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I don't have to fear nothing. That's because he said, I command you not to fear. Because I've already taken care of you, son. That's what he told me. And everything they do against you, all things are known. And my eyes is in every place. What happened if you go try to mess with the hens, baby? He said, I desire to gather you in as hens under my protection. But you wouldn't listen. I saw a video of a hen when somebody was trying to bother her chicks. Man, that hen was kicking some ass. And we ain't dealing with a hen. We talking about the Almighty God. Folks, there have always been two different populations here in America. Since the time of Adam. Cain killed Abel and thought he got rid of him. But then the Most High sent Seth, an even more righteous and more powerful son than Abel. There's always been two factions in the world. Population. Folks, there are and have always been two different populations here in America. Actual current federal employees, retirees don't count as active federal employees. And federal dependents, political asylum seekers, etc., who receive actual paychecks or unearned benefits from the federal corporation are owed discharge of all franchise debts via bankruptcy. The rest of us are owed discharge of the same franchise debts via probate action. The difference is that the probate action not only discharges debts accrued by secondary beneficiaries of our estates, the franchise operated in our names, it returns our land and our other property back to us unharmed, fully restored. So that means if the ESATES is restored, that means the capital ES estates is restored too. So don't be playing games with words. The franchise operated in our names. That's why I'm trying to tell you, you ain't gonna get away with trying to give me what you trying to give me and try to pay me off. You can't pay me off. The Most High said, my blessing is forever. He's not gonna allow you to, because I love him and he loved me. That's why he bringing out the truth. And once the truth is established, you can't go back with a lie. No lie can stand in the face of the truth. It says the difference is that the probate action not only discharges debts accrued by the secondary beneficiaries of our estates, the franchise operated in our names. That means that was the death part. They tried to hide the things under, but the Most High said all things have been given back to me. Now the franchise belong to me. My uncle's franchise and my own franchise belong to me, and my children's franchise belong to them. And my grandchildren. It returns our land and our other property back to us unharmed and fully restored. If you really are a federal employee or unearned dependent, for example, someone receiving SSI who never paid into or vested in Social Security. And my son said, once they release it, then he'll go, well, it's been released, son. I've opened it with the keys. Go ahead and come over and go and take me so I can go and get that brand new Ford what do I call it? Ford truck of my choosing. Ford Edge of my choosing. Then I authorize his mother to go ahead and give me that property on with some land near my family that we all come and enjoy and visit each other. And they can all, matter of fact, make it enough for all of us to be able to stay there if they want to. But they're free to go and as they choose. Do that immediately. I mean, like, I expect a call anytime that we can go and take care of that. And then I don't need a license or I don't need a insurance and all that stuff. But if they insist, then I'm just going to be exempt, use exempt status. And I go to AAA. I ain't got to wait in long lines and stuff like that. And I just go take care of all the business there. But I'm always sign all rights reserved, which means now you got to always treat me with good faith. Even if I don't sign it, you still got to give me full faith service, good faith service. But you can't stop me from having service because you want me to play your game. I don't have to play your game. Actual current federal employees, retirees, don't count as active federal employees. And federal dependents, political asylum seekers, etc., who receive actual paychecks or unearned benefits from the federal corporation are owed discharge of all franchise debts via bankruptcy. The rest of us are owed discharge of the same franchise debts via probate action. The difference is that the probate action not only discharges debts accrued by secondary beneficiaries of our estate. See, one time they tried to trick me and tried to make me do a bankruptcy. But even back then, the spirit wouldn't allow me to do it. I said, I don't got to sign no bankruptcy. Therefore, it automatically had to give me probate action. That was the spirit did that. And they know I'm not lying. The difference is that the probate action not only discharges debts accrued by secondary beneficiaries of our estates. The franchise operated in our names. That's why I say all names, and no matter how they spelled, has been returned to me. You too, if you confess with your mouth and believe with your heart. But they've been returned to me and my children, and my grandchildren. And after each, she gives a breakdown of what structure of the names mean and what franchise was created under. Because they said this is how those people they call the elite got rich. Because they was doing everything under our franchises that they created after our names. That's why they said by necessity. They have to give them back to me. So whatever form they put in that they created on the 8th day after my birthright name was given me by my mother and my father's name, have been restored to me. Therefore, that's why you know whatever they offering ain't enough. Because they look at all that franchises that was created. That's why the Zion is called Israel Elite. Zion is the elite. It returns our land and our other property back to us unharmed and fully restored. Let's look at the term restored. Go first, fully. Fully is an adverb, I mean. Old English fullest, entirely, perfectly, completely. See full. All this is on the record. Full is an adjective. Old English full, containing all that can be received. That's all I'm asking for. What is mine, by right? Having eaten or drunk to repletion, filled, perfect, entire. To fill. The adverb is Old English full, very, fully, entirely, completely. Sense of quite, exactly, precisely. One with its whole. Disc illuminated. First record of full blood. Is reference to racial purity. So it's fully restored. That's why I'm authorizing my son as my good faith agent to come and pick me up and go and take me and get my truck and my scooter fixed. Or I'd probably just buy another scooter and get that old one away to somebody else. Because that brings back bad memories. I'll just get a new one. And go get my arms. It's mine by right, by Second Amendment right. And allow my ex-wife to go ahead and get that land and property near my children. So I can go ahead and move into my own place. So they won't be bothering me with their foolishness. And I expect that immediately, like today or tomorrow. Because by right, it's mine, right? I just proved it to you. Without a doubt. The Most High just proved it to you. So what right do you have to hinder me? I expect that to be done immediately. Most High said he used the term after the regeneration. See, of course, we know we're talking about spiritual and physically here, temporal and spiritual. It's a reformable adjective, mid-15th century, capable of being restored or amended from reform, as inclined to reformability. Regenerate is an adjective. Adjective, reborn, reproduced, restored. See, I've been regenerated spiritually and temporally. You don't have nothing to stand on other than adhere to my request, which is a demand in righteousness. Because based on this information that all parties have agreed to already, God and the devil, who already told you I got the key, and I have knocked and opened the door, and the treasury must respond in good faith. So what hindered me from receiving what is mine by right? Nothing. So I expect that to be done immediately. In good faith. Regenerate is adjective, reborn, reproduced, restored, mid 15th century. And I'm going to still keep my promise to bring this word. I ain't gonna change because Most High has given me back all that is mine. I'm gonna still bring this word because that's what I'm supposed to do. But I'm gonna still enjoy myself in the meantime. Regenerate is an adjective, reborn, reproduced, restored. Mid 15th century from Latin regeneratus, past particle of regenerare, bring forth again. See regeneration, especially in theology, change from a natural to a spiritual state. Appanage is a noun, century 1600, provision made for the younger children of royal or noble families. Restored from early appanage, 13th century, a term of feudal law. From appanare, to endow with means of substance. From medieval Latin appanere, equipped with bread. See, I can go get a whatever. Man, I'm not even really interested. For me, I'm not speaking for everybody else. I'm talking for me. I have the right. I can go get I can go get a Bentley if that's what I want to get, or whatever it is better than that. But that don't float my boat. I just want a Ford Edge because I ain't trying to impress nobody. As you see, I'm already impressive by myself. Thank you, Most High. Century 1600, restored from earlier appanage. 13th century, a term in feudal law, from appanare, to endow with means of sustenance. From medieval Latin appanere, equipped with bread. Add, panis, bread, to feed. The restored double P was subsequently abandoned in French. The meaning dependent territory is from 1807. Impregnable, adjective, early 15th century. This is what Mike Tyson's also said. I'm impregnable. Impregnable, adjective, early 15th century, impregnable, impossible to capture. From Old French, impregnable, invulnerable. From assimilated form, in and not of opposite. See, the only thing is my impregnability don't come from me, it comes from the Father. And can't nobody take me out of his hand. So that makes this word true for me. It's impossible for you to recapture. That's why he said, Zion, you should not go back into captivity. Why? Because we're impregnable. Because he said it. Two different populations. You know what's going to end up happening, people? Most High say the same. If he say the same, I'll bring you the lessons that I prepared because it's still his word. Don't look like we're going to get there today. Two different populations, folks. There are and have always been two different populations here in America. Actual current federal employees. Retirees don't count as active federal employees. And feudal dependents, political asylum seekers, etc., who receive actual paychecks or unearned benefits from the federal corporation are owed discharge of all franchise debts via bankruptcy. The rest of us are discharged of the same franchise debt via probate action. The difference is that the probate action not only discharges debts accrued by secondary beneficiaries of our estates. The franchises operate in our names. It returns our land and other property back to us unharmed and fully restored. If you really are a federal employee or unearned dependent, for example, someone receiving SSI who never paid into or vested in Social Security, by all means, take the bankruptcy protection and run. But if you're not a federal employee, no, I'm not, or unearned independent, claim your estate back, and I have. The debts will all go away just the same, but you will also receive back the land and homes and businesses and other things that are rightfully yours. It's that simple. That's what the Roman Catholic Pope said. It's all that simple. That's that simple. It's over. The game is over with playing with me. Follow my commands and give me what is mine immediately. So I truly do expect my son to be coming over soon, within today or tomorrow, based on his schedule, because he still has his own free agency. But he's my good faith agent, sworn in good faith. So he'll be coming soon to go take me to get my truck, get my scooter. His mother, my ex-wife, will go ahead and get that property for him near my children. And they all free to come and go as they want to, and make sure my son get his car out the shop and give it back to him. And all my children got based on their will. Like I said, my youngest daughter said her husband gonna take care of her, so that's who's gonna take care of her. Because when a man and a woman come together, they become one. So that's his right. That's her husband to take care of her. So back to the duty of the men. And then we're going to stop for the day on that one. The Most High said the same. I come back with the rest of the inheritance of Zion, as Most High, if it's still his word, so it was still his will for me to bring that to you. So if it's his will to continue in that word, I'll bring it to you on tomorrow if he say the same. But I'll end it on this note. Step 5 and 69. And looking towards Yasakah, which is Adam, he said, and you shall now change in your dominion over the earth. For now it is your task to dress and keep all of the host of the living souls here, and your world is named Eden. And now at this day, all the elements of creation know what they are, and they know their purpose. And they all also know the meaning of the life they have been given. In their newness, they all love one another. And they all embrace the definition that they have been given in their creation. And know, my children, that as you are called to dress and keep Eden, America, it may always be that the order of life that is here will remain the same. For all living souls can choose for themselves which way they will go. And all creation is made of my love for you and none else. For you alone are created in my image, in both your body and your spirit. Therefore, it is the duty of all the souls in creation to diligently follow after the definition of every form they have taken because of you. And it is the duty of them all to walk in the harmony of oneness before you and their creator. And all creation also has a new task this day, and their task from this, the day of your spousal, is to worship together with the two of you. Speaking about the Father and me. Because he's talking to Eve separately in verse 74. And thus obey the desires of your heart. That's why I told you, make that happen immediately. And I told my son to bring a certain amount to me just so I can just carry around on him. He already know what that is. Make that happen too, son. And thus they obey the desires of your heart, and they are to share with you all of the joys of your happiness. You're supposed to make me happy. This confirms what he just said earlier through definition. And they are to speak and sing their joys in you. He spoke about the joys too that you're supposed to sing in me. Supposed to make me happy. Before all your fellows. You're supposed to be happy when I'm happy. Tell me when I'm lying if I've read something that's not the truth. I ain't trying to deceive you. I ain't trying to get over on you. I'm just stating what the Most High said. And he ain't happy with you if you're not making me happy. So all praises to the Most High. Father, I love your word. All praises to your holy name.